My name is Becca Krass. I'm a director of product marketing here at Salesforce. And the products that I think about have a lot to do with customer service. And so that ends up being a lot of conversations for me about customer experience. So I thought one of the things that might be helpful as you guys are thinking about starting businesses and growing businesses is thinking about what are those 5 best practices that you should be considering in how to build a scalable customer experience from scratch. So I thought that that would be a great place for us to be able to have a bit of a conversation. Good idea? Awesome. So what does a great customer experience mean? And there's, I think, a lot of confusion about this because I think that people say customer experience and customer service sort of interchangeably. But in reality, customer experience is all of those interactions that a customer has with your company or organization. From being marketed to, from their buying process, to all of their customer service interactions, but a lot about your brand and a lot of what your presence is like in the market. How do they experience what it is that your company does? That is different from customer service. Customer service is a customer having an issue or a challenge and wanting what they want when they want it. That is a totally different thing than customer experience because expectations around customer service are that as a customer, when I want what I want when I want it, you as a company can meet those needs. That's how you build trust. That's how you develop the long-term relationship with a customer that will help. So when we think about improving customer experience, what we're really talking about is how does your company integrate into the life of your customer? It's not about how do you make their experience of being your customer better, but how do you design and build a product or service that really truly integrates into their life. We're seeing this with incredibly disruptive companies like Uber, but also we're seeing it with companies like Amazon, right? The Alexa thing that will stand and talk to you and give you all kinds of information just depending on what it is you'd like to know. Connecting all of that information to your Fitbit so that your experience of becoming fit and understanding what it is that you are doing as a person from an exercise perspective. These are all elements that are changing the way you think about your life and the products that are in your life. Yeah? Cool. The thing that's really critical about this is that it's actually your customers that decide how successful you are at it. This is not something that you can sort of easily put a metric on to say, yes, we are great at customer experience. It's your customers that are really going to be able to give you that feedback. And so always being open to that feedback is a critical part of being able to build a great customer experience. So with that as kind of a framework for the way that we want to talk about this, let's go through what some of those 5 best practices are to build that scalable customer experience. And the first one is to know your audience. Ideally, if you're thinking about starting a company, you know who it is that you're trying to target. You know who it is that's going to find value out of the product or service that you'd like to deliver. So if you know your audience, you know enough about them to think through not just why do they want to do business with you, but how do they want to do business with you? And making sure that you're available in those ways. So if you are looking towards a group, a demographic that is interested in being on social media, how do you make sure that you're there and listening to them when they're talking? Whether they're talking directly at you or they're just talking in general. If you're thinking about someone that has expectations that they can pick up the phone and someone will be at the other end of the line to help them, how do you build those processes so that knowing your audience, you'll be there when they need you? This is one of my favorite quotes. I'm a big basketball fan, and Michael Jordan said, "Obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it." And I think this is really inspirational. The problem is that your customers, if they're faced with obstacles from you, climbing it, going through it, or working around it means going to your competitor, right? They are not incentivized to try to work through those obstacles to get to you. So our second best practice is remove obstacles for your customers. Figure out where they are, right? And it might be something as simple as making it really clear how your customers should contact you, whether that's an email, whether that's a phone number, and like making that point of contact really apparent so that they know how to reach you. Or maybe it's providing self-service, right? Putting up your frequently asked questions and those answers so that they don't even have to contact you if they have a question. Those are the kinds of obstacles that we're thinking about when it comes to removing them for your customers. The other piece that's really critical, and something that is so much easier to do when you're starting than when you have already gotten a lot of momentum and built a lot of structure and process, is to make sure that customer experience is everyone's responsibility. This is not just the focus of customer service. This is not just the focus of the person who exists to be the voice of the customer. Every single person, especially when you're small, is going to be interacting with customers in one way or another. And to help them feel ownership of delivering a great customer experience is going to help your entire organization moving forward. Part of being really good at giving everyone that ownership is also giving everyone that context. So when your customers call in or email or interact with anybody at your company, they don't really care which department this person is in, right? They don't care if they're in sales, they don't care if they're in service, they don't care if they're in accounting, they don't care. They know that they are interacting with your company and they expect a certain level of experience. The only way to empower everybody in your organization to be able to deliver that level of experience is to give them context for who they are talking to. So whether that means contact information, whether it means sales and purchasing history, whether it means order information, shipping, any previous problems that they had so they might be able to address them all together, all of that is the kind of customer context that will make all of your employees successful in delivering a great experience. Yeah? And the last one, and I really can't stress how critical this is, value your customers' time. We know this as customers, right? What is more annoying than calling a company and saying, I would like help with this, and the person on the phone saying, well, I can't help you with that. Let me put you on hold. It's frustrating. It's really, really annoying. And it doesn't make you feel valued. It doesn't make you feel cared about. It doesn't make you feel like they even know who you are. That's the kind of valuing of time that is going to be really critical. Whether your customers are reaching out to you on email, phone, social channels, even in person, making sure that you respect the time that they are giving you so that you can give them a better experience is one of those sort of duh moments, but it's critical to build into your structures, into your processes, and to empower everyone to think about.